What's going on, Sunbelt fans? Didn't fare too well in the last round of games, so we will definitely try a little bit better today to get you in the right direction as far as wins, losses, and scores go. So Saturday, January 7th, 3 p.m. tip, first one on ESPN Plus, has Southern Miss going on the road to visit the undefeated in conference ULM Warhawks. Who would have thought that that would be the case coming into this one? Southern Miss is favored by 7 points in this one. They did have a 14-point loss to the Cajuns in the last game. Meanwhile, ULM had an 8-point win over Georgia State. Again, 3-0 ULM. Who would have predicted that coming in? But they're looking as good as they have all season. So they're strong coming in, 5-2 at home. Meanwhile, Southern Miss 2-1 in the conference. They're probably not looking as good as they did to start the season, to be totally honest with you. And they are just 3-3 on the road. So I've got the hot streak continuing. Just like football season, with this basketball season so far, we've learned to expect the unexpected. I'm going to pull, I'm going to go with the Warhawks still. ULM 72. Southern Miss 71. So I got this one as a close one. Certainly my game of the day. If Southern Miss hadn't lost that last one, this would be 2-3-0 teams in the conference. So this one's certainly my game of the day. The first one, well, there's a number of games tipping off at 3, but I've got this one listed first. So yeah, check that one out for sure. Another 3 p.m. tip, ESPN Plus as well. Texas State goes on the road to travel down to South Alabama. South Alabama favored by 5 points in this one. Texas State coming off of that big 1-point victory over James Madison. South Alabama coming in after dismantling Arkansas State 63-45 the other night. Both are just 1-2 in the conference, though, so I think you look at who stays hot here. Obviously, Texas State had a harder fought victory, and South Alabama had an easier time, but Texas State does play better on the road, so I don't know. I'm expecting this one to be close. I expect South Alabama to still win. I trust them a little bit more at this point, but I don't necessarily expect them to cover because of that defense Texas State has been playing, and they showed just how good they were against James Madison. So I'm going to take South Alabama 68, Texas State 65, 3 p.m. tip, ESPN Plus. ODU travels on the road to Statesboro, Georgia to face the Eagles of Georgia Southern. Southern favored by 2 points in this one, and it's going to be easy to see why. In their last 5 games, ODU has only had one game decided by more than 4 points, and that was their very last one in that 78-71 loss to Troy. But they are 0-3 on the road. Meanwhile, Georgia Southern 3-0 in conference, and they had the big win over Marshall at home. They are also sitting at 7-2 at home on the year. So we know ODU keeps games close. We know Georgia Southern is an impressive 3-0 to start the year. I think they stay hot at home. On this one, I'm taking Georgia Southern 68, ODU 63. 3:30 p.m. tip, ESPN Plus. We've got Coastal traveling up to West Virginia to play Marshall. Marshall, a 13-point favorite there at home. Both teams are on 2-point skids, however, and Coastal's just 2-4 on the road. They just had that very close loss to App State up in Boone. If you saw that one came down to the wire. Both teams had a very good opportunity to win it. App just took a little bit more advantage at the end there. And Marshall was doing great before that JMU loss. They were 9-0 at home before that. So I think I'm taking Marshall at home in this one. I trust them more to get back on track, especially playing at home in this one. I'm going to take Marshall 75, Coastal 68. So Marshall to win, but not to cover. 5 p.m. ESPN Plus. Arkansas State travels on the road to play Troy. Troy, an 11-point favorite in this one. Both teams are on 2-game streaks, but Troy is on a 2-game winning streak, while Arkansas State and the Red Wolves are on a 2-game losing streak. Troy's 2 wins are against ODU and Texas State. They are both better defensively than what Arkansas State has seen the last time from South Alabama and ULM. Plus, Troy's also 5-1 at home versus Arkansas State just 1-5 on the road. This one, I'm trusting the odds makers here. I just don't think it's going to be an 11-point spread, however. So I'm going to take Troy 71, Arkansas State 65. 8 p.m. start, ESPN Plus. These are all Eastern times as well, as we always go with. Georgia State traveling on the road to Lafayette to play the Cajuns. Georgia State 1-2 in conference, playing well defensively, but they're lacking on the offensive side of the ball here. Louisiana, meanwhile, 2 close losses before that big victory against Southern Miss. They are near the top in points, but they're also near the bottom in points allowed. And then Georgia State's kind of the opposite of that. They're near the bottom in points for, but they're up there near the top of the list for points allowed. So this one could get interesting. I see it being decently close, but last thing to note in this one, 0-3 on the road for Georgia State so far, 6-0 home record for the Cajuns. So I'm going to favor the Cajuns in this one as well. I've got the Cajuns 74, Georgia State 68. Wrap it up, one more 8 p.m. tip, ESPN Plus. We've got App State traveling to Harrisonburg to play James Madison Dukes. The Dukes are favored by 11 points in this one. And going from the last game, had they taken care of Texas State, I might have even favored them. But, App State had the close victory over Coastal. Sometimes hard-fought wins can get you going in the right direction. James Madison suffers that stunning loss to Texas State. App is only 2-4 on the road. James Madison 5-1 at home. But again, with what's just happened over this past matchups, I just don't know who to trust here. And I don't know if I'd put money to trust either of them, to be totally honest with you. But I'm going to go with my heart here. Shocking, right? I'm going to pick App State in this one, 72-70. Close, hard-fought win. Again, expect the unexpected. I hope to do that with this one tonight. Have fun watching the games, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching.